Sprout. Welcome to the Coffee Fuel Woodsman channel. It's late October and we are on our way to a new lake for me. Island, I guess it's just called Island Lake. So the Island Lake Wilderness area, you're allowed hunting in. I brought my my longbow, which is a Martin Savannah Reflex Defects longbow. It's going to be interesting to see how difficult it is to get into this lake. Well, this looks like the road down to the lake, so I'm not sure how far I can drive it with my Tucson, but we'll try. A little ways anyway. Might be a couple hundred meters. All right, well, that was a little bit of a gnarly drive with a Tucson, but really, like, you just pick your way around these big rocks. It's not that bad. It doesn't look like there's been that many people in here, but it does look like there's been a little bit of road maintenance, so maybe more people use it. But yeah, it wasn't that bad. I would not bring a Honda Civic in here, but yeah, if you have a normal looking SUV, you should be okay if you take it really slow and it's not a bad day. But there's a dock here. We're gonna jump in this thing and head that way because that's north. Sprout, in. Kelly, come. In. In. Yep. Good girl. So far this lake definitely has more coniferous species than the other lakes we've been on recently. I'm hoping the further up we travel, the more we'll find some more deciduous or hardwoods, whatever you want to call them, just because they'll give us some better colors. But it isn't bad. My goodness, what a day. This is unbelievable. So straight ahead of the boat right now, there's a small island, and then just on the other side, it's a massive island that doesn't even look like one. It runs half the length of the lake. I'm thinking we might post up somewhere on there, but then there's this tiny little island right in front of me, and so far there's been camps on most of them. But if there isn't, and it looks kind of decent shoreline, we might go there, just because we don't want to be too far from where Matt has to paddle in from. He's getting in late tomorrow, although it's a little scrubbier than the other lakes have been in recently, but it is a beautiful lake. Well, that answers the question for whether we're going to camp on this island. We aren't. Well, this looks promising. Okay, well, we're in this little cove. There's no cabins in here. I'm not sure if I like that opposite side better, but this side goes back to the main lake. So we're gonna go for a wander, see if we like it. Now this is quite vertical, but I like that it's open. Guess I gotta be honest, that stuff down there, that's terrible. Let's just have a wander. Well, it has potential, but the tent spots are tenuous at best. So I don't think we're gonna go here. And plus you have to be so far from the water. We're gonna go try to find a flatter spot. Well, the hunt for the campsite is still ongoing. This is getting into the northern side of the lake. We're at the very top of the big island. Problem is, I'm not really finding good spots for hammocks and tents. Although the shoreline to my right and my left look like it might be possible. So we're starting to get into this, what looks like a little bit older forest. It looks a little bit better for our purposes. But this area is looking pretty dense. However, there's some mixture of trees and more coming up. There's a little cove on the opposite side of this. So we're going to go check out that cove, but this is starting to look okay. This looks like some kind of animal trail. Let's see if we can get in. God, the shoreline's brutal for canoes. Just wait. All right, here's to hoping, because the view is actually quite nice. Goes up a finger, down a finger. Unfortunately, there's a camp over on that side. Ooh, I mean, this is all brush, but it's very clearable. That's nice. You know what? This might be it. Yeah, look down there. This might be it. Matt threw his knee out as well, so he can't really hike that far. So, hi bud, what do you think? Anyway, I'm liking this. Looking pretty good. Oh my god. So it's 3:45. I got to get our site for our hammock and for their tent set up before it gets dark. I'm not going to worry too much about cooking supper because all I got to do is boil water. So if I have to, I can do that pretty easily. Anyway, gotta get moving. Okay, the big camera is out. I'm working up a sweat. I'm just limbing some trees. There's this big pine right here. Let me show you. That's going to be one side of my hammock. I wanted to go to this tree that's right here, but it's only 12 feet across. So I think that's going to be too short for my tarp. The wind's coming from basically the area of the camera. It would have been nice to have my tarp completely backwards to it, but it's not going to be that cold. So I'm going to run to a tree over here. It's going to kind of angle it. I will get a little bit of blow through. But I think what I'll do, I'll try to put my foot end there. So, but I gotta get moving. It's the dog tent and my hammock. Unfortunately, the war bonnet blackbird, which is what this is, well, you can enter both sides, but there's this little shelf right here. It's inside the hammock that you put your gear on. I like putting my my hat and sometimes my puffy coat in there, and which is fine. It completely unzips, but I'm gonna have to only use the gear shelf after I go to bed. This isn't the ideal pitch, but it's gonna work. It's pretty good already, isn't it? Oh, you're soaked. That was too far. Come on, you should know better than that. Good boy. No. All right, it's time for me to clear out this fire pit area a bit. I'm going to use that canoe as a bit of a windbreak, but the wind's completely dropped, so maybe I'll move it back down to the water. Yeah. Show the camera your face. What's this? Show. What's that? What's that? Okay. All right, you're wet. You're wet. Get down. Good boy. Okay, time to start making fire. I got water in my 9-cup percolator, and that's how we're going to boil up. So tonight I've got just an MRE. Where we were leaving so late, I decided not to bother trying to get fancy with supper. No, back up. The rocks are all off sideways today. Maybe there. All right, while I'm waiting for that to start to boil, this is a homemade seat pad that I made out of an old military style coat that Johnny gave me. And what it's going to do is hopefully going to keep me a little warmer on this see-through seat, obviously. I forget what I got to do. Oh, yeah, I just got to put that over there. And it's going to be underneath the, behind the knobby. I don't know what kind of insulation this is. It's this weird foam kind of stuff. But it should keep me slightly warmer, if nothing else. So far so good. Hasn't ripped off yet. Okay, we need to get into this MRE. Pizza pasta. Whatever the heck that is. That looks like the main, yeah, main pizza pasta. Matches. These things are so much fun. A hamburger bun. Well, that's probably going to be needed. Leave that, bud. Whoa, beef jerky. That stuff will break your teeth. But it's nice. Peanut butter. I'm going to give that to the dogs. Ooh, a Kit Kat bar today. That's nice. Kit Kat chunky. I'm actually hungry right now. Please be vanilla drink. Orange. Oh well. No vanilla drink. A little bit of raspberry jam. An instant coffee. Sweet and creamy. I think my water's boiling. And Tabasco sauce. Dessert is fruit cocktail, which won't be too bad. There's my pizza pasta. Doesn't feel like a ton. Just heating it. That's it. Oh, I think we might have to move this off. Well, the beef jerky is a hit with the dogs. I can't give Tilly too much. She's got a bad tummy with protein for some reason. Sprout could eat it all. He would be fine. He's got a cast iron stomach. I'm going to see if I can show you my view. So that's the tent area for us, or hammock and tent. There's my water view. And it keeps going. Let's see how this goes. I think I think what I'll do is I'll eat most of it, and then I'll probably give it to the dogs. Kind of mushy. Feels warm through the gloves, so that's probably good. Ooh. Ooh. There's sausage in there. It smells really good. Look at that. That's pretty good. Seems like quite a lot too. Sausage packet's good. Oh, it's super spicy. Like mega spicy. It's unexpected. I'll soak it up with some hamburger. I'm gonna eat this and enjoy my view. I got quite a sunset going here. Like it's about to sit. So I got a few more camp jobs left to do. One, I dug out my hammock here stuff, which is my top quilt and underquilt. So you can't see the underquilt, but it's already on. It's underneath that hammock, and that's my top quilt. But I got to go over there. I suppose I should put out a tarp for me. The one for the dogs is pretty much done. All I got to do is peg it down in the front. And I think they're going to have a pretty cozy night. I brought a wool blanket for them and everything. Oh my god. This is beautiful. I cut a little bit of wood just because it was easy. And there's some hardwood laying down there. But there's just so much softwood. Whew. It's all dead standing. I just bucked up a piece that's like 2-3 inch round in like a heartbeat. So I may end up just wandering through the woods and cutting more wood here in a bit. I think I should probably set up my tarp first though. Oh, and you can't have chocolate. Well, it's 20 after 7 and it has gone pitch dark. It's supposed to go down to 2 degrees. I've started putting my layers on, although I'm not really cold yet. I don't know. It might be 8-10 degrees. It doesn't feel cold actually. So I'm now over underneath my hammock and tarp. I got my tarp all set up in the dark, which went better than I expected it to go. And as I was setting it up, Tilly just came over and laid down, and then she went into the little tent I brought for them, and that's where she stayed. She's not come back out. So rather than stay over there by the fire, which actually isn't quite as, doesn't feel cozy as over here. I know that seems weird, we're out in the woods, but this spot seems a little more cozy. So I think I'm just going to sit here. I got the guitar, probably play a little bit on that, and hopefully try to stay awake till 9 o'clock. Although it is only 20 after 7. We're going to have some whiskey, and then we're going to start playing the guitar. Just the cheap stuff this time. Evan Williams. Gotta love it though. One of my favorites. Alright. Cheers everybody. Oh, that's some good words bourbon. Oh, I completely forgot to mention. The moon is out so bright that my camp light is actually not as bright as the moon. So I think we're going to have a fairly illuminated night. Camera battery's about to die. It's 9:30. They just had their nighttime feed, which is what we normally do. And we're going to pack in and go to sleep because I've half fallen asleep like 3 times. Had a couple of shots of bourbon and that was it. It's been a great night, nice and quiet. Anyway, didn't take any video of the fire because we let it go out. However, you'll have to settle for maybe some video from earlier in the night. See you in the morning. Okay, bud. You want to come out? Yeah, come on out. Hi, bud. Good morning. Oh, it's okay. Morning. You think, should we get up? Yeah. Should we get up? Okay. Oh, good girl. Oh, there you go. Got your coats. Yeah. Stretch, stretch, stretch. All right, good morning, everyone. It's just getting closer to 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. The dogs had me up at 6 a.m., I think it was. Sprout's stomach was grumbling like crazy. So at 6 a.m. we got up and we fed the dogs. Tilly wanted up in the hammock with me, and then Sprout was just roaming. So about 5 or 6:30, I called him back and I zippered him back in his tent. But 10 minutes later, I had to get back up because his stomach was growling so bad that I had to feed the little bugger. Anyway, after that, he went back to sleep and we slept right till now. I didn't really sleep. Tilly was on me. It was super nice. But we're just sort of waiting for the sun to come up. So the winds come up. It feels about 1 degree, I suppose. My hands are fairly cool right now. I gotta get up, get moving, make a coffee is the big thing. It was pretty quiet in the night. The moon was out just as bright as anything. I couldn't get any footage of it. I got up once to go pee, and I wandered down to look at it. But I'll show you I had to put up my tarp, and I'll show you how the dog thing is set up a little later on. But let's get making a fire. Well, we've been struggling a little bit to get the coffee to percolate, but I think it's finally getting there. My waffles I think the first one's done. We're gonna eat that first one. My wife Claire made these for me at home yesterday. Brought in a couple of packets of this. Ooh. Okay. That packet should last me 2. Leave it. Oh. Oh my God, they're better. Well done, Claire. I brought 4, so the dogs will get probably almost 1 each. Oh my God. It's amazing. A little hot. Just wait. We've moved from the dining room to the living room just because the canoe is right behind the camera basically, and the wind's coming out of the north now, so it's going to block that wind from us, which just sitting there in front of the fire was nice, but I realized that maybe it's not the best spot for the fire. Over here would have been good too, but then I don't want to really cook while I'm right where I'm living. They say not to do that for bears, and that's one of the rules I try to follow at least a little bit. So last night I had set up my hammock really early, and when I had set it up, I had in my brain that I was going to sleep at that end, and then when I set it up, I was like, oh no, I'm going to switch it around, so my head's at this end here. So The underquilt that I've got on there is a hammock gear one, and the head end has to be where your head is. I had, for some reason, set it up the other way around. Maybe because Sprout's all right. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's because I had not changed it in my brain yet. No, no, no. Back up. Back up. Come on. Out. Maybe I hadn't switched in my brain that that's what I was going to do. Anyway, so in the middle of the night, I realized that I barely had any coverage on my shoulders, and then it finally dawned on me. I remember clipping the white carabiner, which means head end, to the bottom. So at about 2 o'clock in the morning, I finally decided I had to get up and change it. And as soon as I did that, I slept really well after that. But up until that point, I was struggling to stay warm. I even put this sweater on just to warm up. And then once I had it the right way around, geez, I slept so much better, and it was more comfortable. So it must restrict how the hammock can lay if it's in the wrong direction. So there's a mistake I've never made that, you know, I'll hopefully learn. Yeah, so I actually have cell service out here. I just got a text from Matt. He's heading home to pack up his truck, so he might be here before 2 o'clock maybe. I don't know. He's going to have a heck of a paddle. Unfortunately, that wind's starting to put a few white caps on the water. We only have one task that we have to do before he gets here, and that's go cut up a bunch of firewood. So I think I'm gonna maybe go find the men's room, and then we'll do that. And these ones, look at them. We need a little entertainment anyway. Well, you two dogs. I'm actually a little worried about Matt coming in now because the wind is ripping. And that's leads me segue straight into this next segment, which is the bow that I brought. Now, it's not looking like we're gonna get out partridge hunting today. It's so darn windy. I mean, we could go for a stump shoot maybe, but I'm kind of want to stick around now till Matt gets here. So this here is my Martin Savannah. That was given to me by my brother, and I made the little handle, leather handle for it. And it is a reflex deflex longbow. And what that means is it's a longbow, but it has a bit of curve back this way. It's a 50-pounder, and yeah, all I pretty much do with it is shoot stumps and hunt partridge. And I think since I started, I've gotten like 3 partridge in my lifetime, so it's not really about the hunting, is it? Okay, so Matt has texted. He's at the boat launch, and he's set to be launching in 10 minutes. Hopefully it goes okay. Now it's just kind of a little waiting game. These guys have been little devils, haven't you? I'm a little bit nervous about how they're going to behave with Matt's dog Tilly. Now, this one's been out with Tilly before, but not since Sprout came along. And there's some issues with her trying to protect Sprout with other dogs. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I'm hoping that was because he was so young before and he was pretty humpy. But they seem to get along when we went for a hike, so we'll see how this goes. Fingers crossed. Okay, well, I'm going to have my lunch and give the dogs their lunch because I don't want any nonsense to go on when Matt's dog gets here. I'm not worried about his dog, I'm worried about mine. So I just have English muffins. Do I have English muffins? Oh, God. There. Oh, no. God, Matt, I'm sorry. Okay, I have to figure something out. I was just sitting here doing nothing, so I bucked up some more wood, and I've got us a fire ready to go when Matt gets here. That way we can have a coffee, because I'm assuming he's going to want one. There he is, braving that water. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got my gain up. Jeez. Look at that. So I'm not going to film trying to get him on because I'm going to have to like do some extra work.